Hey everyone, welcome to the online program of Amrita IAS Academy. My name is Sibi Joy, and as part of our monthly current affairs MCQ series, this is part 3B of August 2020. So without any delay, we'll go into the questions. Consider the following statements about Lakshadweep Islands. 1. It is India's smallest union territory. 2. Kolkali, Parchakali and Lava are popular folk art forms of the territory. 3. 10-degree channel separates Lakshadweep and Minicoy. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 only, and option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So, while learning about the Indian physical geography part for the UPSC Civil Services examination, we know that the 10-degree channel actually separates the Andaman group of islands from the Nicobar group of islands, and rather it is the 9-degree channel which separates Lakshadweep and Minicoy. So, this is something we will be learning, and we have already covered the 10-degree channel in our previous questions too. So, taking that into account, I can say that the third statement is wrong. We are left with just option A 1 and 2 only, and option B 1 only. So, automatically statement 1, that is it is India's smallest union territory, becomes right. The second statement, Kolkali, Parchakali and Lava are popular folk art forms of the territory. That statement is also right with regards to Lakshadweep. So, we will be learning it as part also of a art and culture program. So, I would say that option A 1 and 2 only is the right answer, and we will go for the explanation. The answer is A. Statement 1 is correct because India's smallest union territory, Lakshadweep, is an archipelago consisting of 36 islands with an area of 32 square kilometer. It is a uni-district union territory and comprises of 12 atolls, 3 reefs, 5 submerged banks and 10 inhabited islands. The second statement is correct because Kolkali and Parchakali are the two popular folk art forms in the territory. They are an integral part of the cultural milieu except in Minicoy, where Lava is the most popular dance form. Some of the folk dances have a resemblance with those in northeastern India, and for marriages, Opana is a common feature, a song sung by a lead singer and followed by a group of women. Picnics are a common leisure activity in Minicoy. The most widely celebrated festivals are Independence Day and Republic Day, Miladi-Nabi, Idul Fitr, Bakrid and Moharram in that order. Interestingly, Independence Day and Republic Day are celebrated for days with religious fervor. The third statement is not correct because 9-degree channel separates Lakshadweep and Minicoy. The 9-degree channel is a channel in the Indian Ocean between the Laccadive Islands of Kalpeni and Suheli Par and Maliko Atoll. These two subgroups of islands together with the Aminidivi subgroup form the Indian Union Territory of Lakshadweep. So that is the explanation for Lakshadweep. I hope you all understood this. We'll go for the next question. Question number 14. In context of the Universal Service Obligation Fund USOF, consider the following statements. 1. The new telecom policy envisaged imposing a new universal access levy on all fixed service providers for implementing the Universal Service Obligation. 2. The Indian Telegraph Act of 2003 gave the statutory status to the USOF. 3. Ministry of Finance administers and manages this fund. Choose the correct code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So the Universal Service Obligation Fund is something we'll be learning about it, and we have also covered this as part of the current affairs too, because this has been there in the news consistently with regards to what it is and what is its purpose. It's an important part of the Bharatmala program or the BharatNet program. Not the Bharatmala, BharatNet program. So taking that into account, I can say it's not the Ministry of Finance which is administering and manages fund, but it is the Ministry of Communication, or more specifically the Department of Telecommunication. So I can say the third statement is wrong in this context. Let's take away the third statement. We are left with options A and B. We managed to make it a 50-50 elimination. So the second statement is right in both our accounts. So that is the Indian Telegraph Act of 2003 gave statutory status to the USOF. Yes, that is true. Second statement is right in the first statement. The new telecom policy envisaged imposing a universal access levy on all fixed service providers for implementing the universal service obligation. Yes, that is true under the new telecom policy. So I would say that option A 1 and 2 only is the right answer in this context. Even if we are not aware about it, take this opportunity to learn about the USOF and it comes under which policy and which department. Let's go for the explanation. The answer is A. Statement 1 is correct because the new telecom policy, or NTP 1999 of Department of Telecom, envisaged the implementation of USO to be generated through a UAL at a prescribed percentage of the revenue earned by the telecom licensees to be decided in consultation with TRAI. USO obligation for rural and remote areas would be undertaken by all fixed service providers who shall be reimbursed from the USOF. Statement 2 is correct because the Indian Telegraph Amendment Act of 2003 giving statutory status to the USOF was passed by both houses of parliament in December of 2003. The third statement is not correct because it is the Department of Telecommunication under the Ministry of Communication which administers this fund. So that is the explanation for this question. I hope you all understood what is it about USOF, and we'll go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, or AIF. This fund will be used to build post-harvest storage and processing facilities. 2. Department of Agriculture, Cooperation, Farmers Welfare and the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare will implement this initiative. 3. It will be used to provide loans at a concessional rates only to farmer producer organizations or FPOs. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So, looking at this agriculture infrastructure fund, this fund will be used to build post-harvest storage and processing facilities. Yes, it seems to be in line with what an agriculture infrastructure fund would do. The second statement and the third statement says it will be used to provide loans at concessional rates only to farmer producer organizations. Seems to be a bit illogical. So, I can say we can remove the third statement. We are left with just option A 1 and 2 only and option B 1 only. It's a 50-50 choice. Again, the statement 1 seems to be right in this context. Let's check the second statement. Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare and the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare will implement this initiative. Looking at the second statement, I can say while it seems to be true that it can be the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, generally the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund is dealt by NABARD, or the National Bank for Rural Development, and I would say I would go with option B 1 only to be the right answer, because I believe that it is NABARD which would be the main implementer of the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is B. PM Modi launched the 1 lakh crore Agriculture Infrastructure Fund AIF to be used over the next 4 years. This fund will be used to build post-harvest storage and processing facilities largely anchored at the farmer producer organizations, but also can be availed by individual entrepreneurs. Statement 2 is not correct because National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, will implement this initiative in association with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So, it's actually implemented by NABARD along with association with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. The third statement is not correct because under the scheme, rupees 1 lakh crore will be provided by banks and financial institutions as loans to primary agriculture credit societies, marketing cooperative societies, farmer producer organizations, self-help groups, farmers, joint liability groups, multi-purpose cooperative societies, startups, etc. So, that is the explanation with regards to what exactly the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund is all about. I hope you all understood this. We will go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the International Solar Alliance or ISA. 1. It is a treaty-based intergovernmental organization working to create a global market system to tap the benefits of solar power and promote clean energy applications. 2. Countries that do not fall between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn can join the alliance and enjoy all benefits as other members, including right to vote. 3. The Paris Declaration established the ISA. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 1 and 3 only. So, let's take the second statement. Countries that do not fall between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn can join the alliance and enjoy all benefits as other members, including the right to vote. Seems to be a bit illogical because these countries do not come under the major countries which can provide to the International Solar Alliance. So, saying that seems to create a bit of a doubt in the mind of the person who's looking at this question. So, I'd say that the second statement seems doubtful, whereas the first statement that it is a treaty-based intergovernmental organization working to create a global market system to tap the benefits of solar power and promote clean energy applications seems to be right in context with the International Solar Alliance. And the third statement too, the Paris Declaration established the ISA, is also true. But the second statement seems to have a bit of a irregularity in it. So, I'd go with the option D 1 and 3 only. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is D. Statement 1 is correct because the ISA is a treaty-based intergovernmental organization working to create a global market system to tap the benefits of solar power and promote clean energy applications. Statement 2 is not correct because the International Solar Alliance is an alliance of 121 countries initiated by India. The answer is D. Statement 1 is correct because the International Solar Alliance is a treaty-based intergovernmental organization working to create a global market system to tap the benefits of solar power and promote clean energy applications. Statement 2 is not correct because the International Solar Alliance is an alliance of 121 countries initiated by India, most of them being sunshine countries which lie either completely or partly between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Countries that do not fall within the tropics can also join the alliance and enjoy all benefits as other members with the exception of voting rights. Statement 3 is correct because the Paris Declaration that established the ISA states that the countries share the collective ambition to undertake innovative and concerted efforts to reduce the cost of finance and technology for deployment of solar generation assets. So, that is the explanation for this question. I hope you all understood about the ISA or the International Solar Alliance. We will go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Ganges River dolphin. 1. It can live in both freshwater and oceanic water. 2. It has been recognized by the Government of India as its national aquatic animal. 3. They play the vital role of being ecological indicators. 4. It is listed by the IUCN as critically endangered on the red list of threatened species. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1, 2 and 4 only, option B 2 and 3 only, and option C 1, 3 and 4 only, and option D all of the above. So looking at this, about the Ganges river dolphin, we will be learning about the Ganges river dolphin, which is also the national aquatic animal of India. So while learning about it as part of our environment syllabus for UPSC, we know that it cannot live in both freshwater and oceanic water, but it actually lives only in freshwater. So the first statement is wrong. It's a basic feature of the Ganges river dolphin. The first statement is wrong. We look at the options. We are left with just option B 2 and 3 only, because the rest of the options have statement 1 in them. So the second statement has been recognized by the government of India as its national aquatic animal is true. 3. They play the vital role of being ecological indicators is also true. But the fourth statement, it is listed by the IUCN as critically endangered on the red list of threatened species. No, we will be learning about which are the species which come under the critically endangered list of the IUCN, and the Ganges river dolphin does not come under that list. So I can say the fourth statement is also false. In this case, we will go with the option B 2 and 3 only. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is B. Statement 1 is not correct because the Ganges river dolphin can only live in freshwater and is essentially blind. They hunt by emitting ultrasonic sounds which bounces off fish and other prey, enabling them to see an image in their mind. Statement 2 is correct because the Ganges river dolphin has been recognized by the government of India as its national aquatic animal and is the official animal of the Indian city of Guwahati. Statement 3 is correct because river dolphins, including the Gangetic dolphins, play a vital role of being ecological indicators. They point at the healthy river ecosystems and are the prime species, indicating the conservation status of the river systems. Compared to the statement 4, it is listed by IUCN as endangered on the red list of threatened species. It is not critically endangered, but rather the Ganges river dolphin is endangered on the IUCN red list. So that is the explanation for this question. Let's look at the next question. Right to have access to the internet is a part of which of the following fundamental right mentioned in the Indian Constitution? Statement 1, Article 14, Statement 2, Article 21, and Statement 3, Article 19. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D 1, 2 and 3 only. So looking at this was something that has been there in the news consistently with regards to right to have access to the internet, and it comes under both Article 19 and Article 21 according to the recent Supreme Court judgment. So I would say that options B, 2 and 3 only seems to be a right answer. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is B. The Supreme Court said that access to the internet is a fundamental right under Article 19 of the Constitution. Internet is a fundamental right under Article 19 of the Constitution, subject to some restrictions. In September 2019, Kerala High Court held that the right to have access to the internet is a part of the fundamental right to education as well as a right to privacy under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. So understand that the right to have internet, it's a fundamental right, or have access to internet is a fundamental right under both Article 19 and Article 21 of the Indian Constitution according to the Supreme Court and the Kerala High Court. So that is the explanation for this question. I hope you all try to remember this. We'll go for the next question. Which of the following are the criteria set by the International Astronomical Union or the IAU for a celestial body to be called a dwarf planet? 1. Body orbits around the sun. 2. It has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. 3. It has enough mass for its gravity to pull it into a roughly spherical shape. 4. It is not a moon. Choose the correct code. Option A 1, 2 and 3 only. Option B 2, 3 and 4 only. Option C 1 and 3 only, and option D 1, 3 and 4 only. So even though we may not be aware about what exactly is the specific criteria for a celestial body to be called as a dwarf planet, but generally whenever we refer to something as a planet, we know that body orbits around the sun. So taking that into account, I can say that the first statement is right. If you take options which have just the first statement, we can say that option B 2, 3 and 4 can be eliminated, whereas A, C and D can be left. Look at the fourth statement. It is not a moon. Definitely an object which is a moon to another planet would not be considered as a part of a dwarf planet. So I can say the fourth statement also has to be there. So let's look at the options which have statement 1 and 4 in them. Looking at it, I can say that just one option has that is option D 1, 3 and 4 only. Automatically the third statement is right. It has enough mass for its gravity to pull it into a roughly spherical shape. Seems to be right in this context. And it has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. Seems to be a bit not necessary for a dwarf planet. So I can say that option D 1, 3 and 4 only seems right in this context. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is D. 4 criteria set by the International Astronomical Union for a celestial body to be called as a dwarf planet means they are: the body orbits around the sun, it is not a moon, has not cleared the neighborhood orbit around its sun, which means it is not the dominant body in its orbit around the sun, and that is what differentiates a planet from a dwarf planet. So its body, or it should not clear the neighborhood orbit around its sun. If it has cleared it, it is qualified to become a planet. If it has not cleared it, it retains its position as a dwarf planet. And the fourth point, it has enough mass for its gravity to pull it into a roughly spherical shape. So that is the explanation for what are the criteria to be recognized as a dwarf planet. I hope you all try to remember this and understand this. We'll go for the next question. Recently, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has launched this e-portal on tribal health and nutrition to provide all health and nutrition related information of the tribal population of India in a single platform. Option A, Goal, option B, Alec, option C, Swasthya, and option D, Suraksha. So this has been in the news recently with regards to the various initiatives of the government. And even if you try to learn about this or just look at the logical point of view that this e-portal has been launched on tribal health and nutrition. So I'd say that the option C, Swasthya, seems to be more in line with this. But again, this is a kind of logic which we can use to find an answer. But at the same case, if you are aware of it, so if you've been reading the news cycles, you will know that the answer is C, Swasthya. It has been there in the news consistently. It has been discussed as part of current affairs. So if you can find a logic, like even if you don't know this current affair, you can use a logic which I used because it talks about health and nutrition and Swasthya seems to match with it. We can go for such techniques which would help us to hit the right answer. So even in questions which you are not aware of it, if you can find some kind of linkage, go for it. It is definitely going to help you. So let's go for the answer. I'd say that option C, Swasthya, seems to be a right answer in this case. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is C. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs has launched a tribal health and nutrition portal, Swasthya, and e-newsletter on health and nutrition, Alec. The e-portal on tribal health and nutrition named Swasthya, a first of its kind e-portal providing all health and nutrition related information of the tribal population of India in a single platform. Swasthya will also curate innovative practices, research briefs, case studies and best practices collected from different parts of India to facilitate the exchange of evidence, expertise and experiences. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs has recognized the Pyramid Swasthya as a Center of Excellence for Knowledge Management, or COE for KM, for health and nutrition. The COE will constantly engage with the ministry and provide inputs to drive evidence-based policy and decision-making process pertaining to health and nutrition of the tribal population of India. The portal swasthya.tribal.gov.in is hosted on NIC Cloud. So that is the explanation with regards to this, and also this is the explanation with regards to GOAL program. Ministry in partnership with Facebook through the Going Online as Leaders program of the GOAL program aims to mentor 5,000 tribal youth across India and enable them to become village level digital young leaders for their communities. So that is the idea behind GOAL, that is the idea behind Swasthya, and that is the idea behind Alec. Please see the explanation. You will have an explanation for what each of them is. I hope you all understood this. We will go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements, or ARIIA. 1. It is an initiative of Niti Aayog and the Department of Science and Technology. 2. It is used to systematically rank all government and government aided schools in India. 3. Ranking is based on 7 parameters which includes budget, governance and commercialization among others. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So looking at this, we will be learning about ARIIA, which is the Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements. It is not an initiative of Niti Aayog and Department of Science and Technology. We will be learning about it. So I can say the first statement is wrong in this context. If you remove the first statement, you are left with option C and D, that is 2 and 3 only and 3 only. Automatically, the third statement, ranking is based on 7 parameters which includes budget, governance and commercialization among others, seems to be the right answer in both the statements. Let's check statement 2. It is used to systematically rank all government and government aided schools in India. No, ARIIA does not rank the government and government aided schools, but it rather looks towards the higher education institutions in our country. So I'd say I'd go with option D 3 only to be the right answer in this case. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is D. Statement 1 is not correct because ARIIA was launched last year by the Innovation Cell of the Ministry of Education, the Government of India. Statement 2 is not correct because it is used to systematically rank all major higher educational institutions and universities in India on indicators relating to innovation and entrepreneurship development among students and faculties. This year, 674 institutions of national importance, central universities and centrally funded technical institutions participated in the ranking. The third statement, assessment of innovation and startup ecosystems in higher educational institutions will be based on 7 parameters with certain weightages allocated as below. Budget for 20 marks, infrastructure like facilities to support innovation startup has 10 marks, awareness for promoting idea generation and innovation 20 marks, entrepreneurship, which is promotion supporting entrepreneurship development, has 20 marks, commercialization, that is IP generation, technology transfer and commercialization, has 14 marks, learning methods which are innovative and they have on courses too, they are 10 marks, and governance, that is innovations in governance of the institutions, has 6 marks. So that is the explanation for this question with regards to what exactly is the Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievement, or the ARIIA. So I hope you all understood this. We'll go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Central Water Commission. 1. It conducts studies on dam safety aspects for the existing dams. 2. It is responsible for flood forecasting. 3. It is responsible for monitoring reverse water quality. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D all of the above. So looking at this, it talks about the various statements about the Central Water Commission. The Central Water Commission has many responsibilities, but it is not responsible for monitoring the reverse water quality, because that is the duty of the Central Pollution Control Board. We will be learning about these boards as part of our polity syllabus, and also if you are not aware about it, we will also be learning this while we are covering this current affair program. You can look at the explanation to learn more about them. So in this case, I would say the third statement is wrong, because it is the Central Pollution Control Board in tie up with the state governments and the state pollution control boards, which will be monitoring the reverse water quality. So I can say that the third statement is wrong in this context. Remove the third statement, you are left with just option A 1 and 2 only, that is it conducts studies on dam safety aspects for the existing dams, and 2 it is responsible for flood forecasting. So I'd go with option A 1 and 2 only. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is A. CWC is a premier technical organization of India in the field of water resources and is presently functioning as an attached office of the Ministry of Jal Shakti in the Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation in the Government of India. The statement 1 is correct because CWC conducts studies on dam safety aspects for the existing dams and stands related instrumentation for dam safety measures. Statement 2 is also correct because the CWC is responsible for flood forecasting and monitoring. It provides flood forecasting services to all major flood prone interstate river basins of India through a network of 175 flood forecasting stations. It has categorized various flood situations for monitoring the floods in the country through its flood forecasting network into 4 different categories, namely normal, above normal, severe and extreme, depending upon the river water level with reference to warning level, danger level and highest flood level. And the third statement is not correct because most of the rivers in India are fed by monsoon rains, which is limited to only 3 months of the year, and they run dry throughout the rest of the year, often carrying wastewater discharges from industries or cities or towns, endangering the quality of our scarce water resources. And rather, it's the CPCB in collaboration with the concerned state pollution control boards, which has established a nationwide network for monitoring river water quality. CPCB under the Water Act of 1974 and the Air Act of 1981 aims to promote cleanliness of streams and wells in different areas of the state by prevention, control and abatement of water pollution. So that is the explanation for this with regards to what about the Central Water Commission. I hope you all understand this. We'll go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the transport bubbles. It is a World Trade Organization arrangement to resume commercial trade of goods and services which were suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 2. Transport bubbles are reciprocal in nature. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2 and option D none of the above. So in this case, transport bubbles have been present in the news consistently, especially with regards to the COVID pandemic. It is not a WTO arrangement, rather it's an agreement between 2 countries to transport the people for with regards to amidst this COVID-19 pandemic. So I'd say the first statement is wrong because it is not a WTO arrangement, whereas the second statement, they are reciprocal in nature, to be a right. So I'd go with option B 2 only. This has been there in the news consistently with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic and the transport of people and other goods and services from different countries. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is B. Statement 1 is not correct because transport bubbles or air travel arrangements are temporary arrangements between 2 countries aimed at restarting commercial passenger services when regular international flights are suspended as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The statement 2 is correct because the transport bubbles are reciprocal in nature, meaning airlines from both countries enjoy similar benefits, which means that both sides, the departure point and also the arrival point, have to be on board. It also means that travel restrictions such as quarantining or testing of passengers have to be discarded among the countries in the bubble. So that is the explanation behind what is a transport bubble or the air travel arrangement, which is a temporary arrangement between countries aimed at restarting the commercial passenger services when the regular flights are hampered due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I hope you all understood this about what exactly the transport bubbles are. We'll go for the next question. Which of the following countries are bordered by the Mediterranean Sea? 1. Turkey, 2. Russia, 3. Lebanon and 4. Jordan. Choose the correct code. Option A 1, 2 and 4 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D 1, 3 and 4 only. So this is a very frequently asked question. We also discussed this kind of question in our previous videos too. This is there have been questions asked by UPSC which is very similar to this. So we always need to know which are the major nations which border many important seas or oceans. In this case, I can say that Turkey and Lebanon definitely border the Mediterranean Sea, and Russia does not. So looking at that, I can say that option 1 and 3 is right, and 2 must not be present. In that case, we are left with just two options, option C and D, that is 1 and 3 only and 1, 3 and 4 only. Now the only question is because whether Jordan or the statement number 4, whether it borders the Mediterranean Sea or not. While learning about the international relations, we will be looking at different countries and what the tie-up, whether those countries have ties with India or where they are located, or is there any important issues which are happening. So definitely in the case of Jordan, we will be learning that it's a landlocked country and Jordan does not have access to the Mediterranean Sea. In that case, I can say the fourth statement is also wrong, and I would go with option C, 1 and 3 only. So even if you're not aware about these countries where they are in right now, take the opportunity to learn about where these countries are located. Use an atlas or use a world map, hang it on your wall, or use your atlas to understand where the major countries are and which countries border the major oceans and the seas. This will help us to tackle such questions. In this case, let's go for option C, 1 and 3 only. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is C. The countries surrounding the Mediterranean in clockwise order are Spain, France, Monaco, Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Albania, Greece, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria and Morocco, and Malta and Cyprus are the island countries in the sea, whereas Jordan is a landlocked country. So if you look at the options, definitely there is Turkey present, there is also Lebanon present, and there is no presence of Russia. If you also look at the map which is shown, you will see that Turkey and Lebanon can be seen, but at the same time Jordan, which is to the southeast of Lebanon, does not have contact with the Mediterranean Sea, and neither does Russia or have contact with the Mediterranean Sea. So that is the explanation for this question. We will go for the last question. Consider the following statements. Cheetah was declared extinct from India in 1952 and is considered the only large mammal that has gone extinct since the country's independence. 2. The National Wildlife Action Plan of 2017 to 31 mentions about the introduction of the cheetah. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, and option D none of the above. So we'll be learning about the major flora and fauna of the country, and one thing we can note is that the cheetah was declared extinct from India in 1952 and is considered to be the only large mammal that has gone extinct since the country's independence. So the first statement is right, but the second statement, the National Wildlife Action Plan of 2017 to 31, does not mention about the introduction of cheetah in that directly. So I can say the second statement is wrong. We'll be learning about them as part of our current affairs and also about this in the environment part of our syllabus. Let's go with option A, 1 only. The answer is A. Statement 1 is correct because cheetah was declared extinct from India in 1952 and is considered the only large mammal that has gone extinct since the country's independence. Statement 2 is not correct because the National Wildlife Action Plan of 2017 to 31, which is the largest overarching guiding document for the country's wildlife sector, does not mention anything about the introduction of cheetah. Rather, it calls for identifying suitable alternative homes for species having 1 or 2 isolated populations such as the Jordan scusa, the Batagur turtle, the Asiatic lion, and prepare conservation plans for the same. So in this case, it does not mention the cheetah in the National Wildlife Action Plan of 2017 to 31. So that is the explanation for this question. I hope you all understood this. With this, we are ending this video. This is CB Joy signing off. Everybody have a nice day. Thank you.